Hello, my crafty friends. Yet again, I will not be able to go live tonight for Technique Tuesday, but I could not leave you without a project. So I pre-recorded this project for Technique Tuesday, and I wanted to just share some reminders with you as well. So I'm going to continue to play around with designer series paper because one of the reminders I wanted to share with you is just to remind you that the designer series paper sale ends on June 30th. Good grief, I already jumped to December. I was about to say December, but June 30th. Remember, that's 15% off a selection of our designer series paper, which is a really phenomenal deal. I know that sometimes when you get a pack of designer series paper, sometimes there might be like maybe one or two designs that you really like, and then the paper kind of lingers. So the project that I'm going to make for you now helps you to use up that paper, and it really features a wonderful selection of patterns. You can see both sides of the pattern even. So this particular one is inspired by Antoinette Bay. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of the paper papillon. So I'm getting the measurements from her. I've altered it just a little bit, some of the measurements, and I'll tell you what those are, but this was her my inspiration for this, just again to use up some designer series paper. So you can get 2 of these cards out of 1 sheet. The starting measurement is 5.5 inches by 12, so we can get 2 cards out of 1 12 by 12 sheet. I am using the Countryside Inn paper. So it's a really pretty paper that provides a good look at some of the blues that we have. Some of them are new, some of them are returning, some of them have been around for a while. So here's some of the patterns. And there is certainly a suite or bundle including some dyes that coordinate very well with this. I have to be honest and tell you, they didn't really do much for me, but I did like the blues in this paper, and I love the patterns and the designs, the combination of the blues. So I did not purchase the stamp set or the dies to go with this, but I believe this pattern is universal enough to get you a lot of different cards with no problem. I'm trying to get my cutter out of the way so that I can score. I already cut my paper at 5.5, so a little less than half, but 5.5 by 12. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and start scoring, and I wanted to make sure I don't pull down the wrong lever here. So on our paper trimmer, we have 2 pieces that do 2 different things for us. This dark piece, of course, is the one that does the cutting, so I'm going to move that out of the way. The lighter brown piece is what does the scoring for us. So I'm going to place my paper in, going landscape, so the long side is going across the top, and I'm going to score it at 3.5 inches. I want to make sure you can see my ruler. Very important tool to have in your stash, this paper cutter. So 3.5 inches, and then 7 3/4 inches. So our paper trimmer has our extending arm, so that I can go a little bit further out, and I'm gonna find 7 3/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna score it. Okay, and then I believe I'm done with my trimmer because I've already pre-cut some of the layers that I'm going to use. So once I cut 5.5 by 12, I ended up with this strip left, and I wanted to use every piece of this paper. So I think I'm going to find a way to use this opposite side here, just to kind of use up the paper. I don't like throwing it away, but it also coordinates very well. So the blues that I'm playing around with in this paper are Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, and Boho Blue. I think that's a beautiful combination. Let's see what we're gonna get. I'm gonna first burnish my score lines. And I think I want this side or this blue on the ins or on the outside, I guess. Let's see. I'm just going to burnish and see what happens. I'm just going to use my bone folder here and burnish along those lines. And let's just see what we get. Okay. And I think I like this side a little bit better. Let's do it this way. I like that. Okay, that gives us a little bit of a visual interest here. We can also do it this way. So I have so many options because this pattern doesn't necessarily have a right or wrong direction. So if you like it this way, you can use it like so. Or I can turn it this way and have the card open up like so. I think I like it this way. I think I like it this way. We can also, let's see what happens if I flip my score lines. So that has all the pattern on the outside with a little bit of shortened flap here. We can open it like this. Okay. Also flip it over so that it's like this. Okay. Again, it's so easy that you can really make it any way you want, just as long as you have an opportunity to appreciate both sides of the paper or the patterns of the paper. It really doesn't matter, okay? And I don't know, I keep changing my mind. I'm not sure which way I want to go here. Maybe this way? I don't know, we'll see. Let me keep putting this together and maybe I'll decide by the time I finish. I kind of need to go ahead and decide though, because I do want to go ahead and start some stamping. All right, so this is the side that I chose to feature. I'll have the Night of Navy pattern, sort of most of the inside with the white with the blue flowers representing most of the outside. But again, with this particular fold, you can enjoy both sides of the paper, which is what I like about it. So you get to use quite a bit of your paper or a good chunk of your paper without wasting it, and you get to enjoy both patterns with this fold. I went ahead, as I said, I wanted to use every piece I could. So this was a part of a strip that was left over after I cut down the designer series paper at 5.5 by 12. So this little strip though, I cut it down even further to 5.5, so it measures 5.5 by 1 inch. And I thought I would go ahead and continue that run of the pattern throughout. So I'm gonna just place this here with a little bit of glue. Just a nice little accent and carrying the theme of the pattern. I'm not going to put it right there on that score line because I want to make sure that the card opens and closes without any problems. This is a really simple card to make. And again, it just showcases the designer series paper, which I love. Love, love, love. And it gives you some more ideas. You don't always have to have the entire bundle, especially if there's one piece of the bundle or the suite that you're kind of like, about. You don't have to have all of it. Not at all. I decided to cut a circle at 2 3/8 of an inch. And I am going to make sort of like a little collage of images from these floral leafy images from Lighting the Way. I am going to be featuring Lighting the Way for the July card class. So as a reminder, my card classes can be taken virtually or in person at Crafts and Drafts is where we usually meet for that. But more about that later. If I can, I'll show you the cards that will be a part of the card class for next month for July. July is right around the corner. So in addition to the designer series paper promotion ending June 30th, we also have our kit promotion that's ending also on June 30th. So the kit promotion gives you more bang for the buck if you decide to get the demonstrator kit. The kit is $99 plus tax, free shipping, but you get a chance to pick or choose $155 worth of goodies. You can become a member of my team, which I would welcome you, certainly welcome you to do that. Get yourself a nice community of crafters and stampers while also enjoying the benefits of being a demonstrator. Chief among them for me, if I'm being honest, is definitely the discount. I absolutely love being able to purchase what I love to use with the discount as a demonstrator. So that's something you might want to consider, especially if your wish list is getting close to $100. If you see that you are racking up close to $100, why not get that demonstrator kit so that you can enjoy the discount and get more bang for your buck? I always like to share any opportunities for you to save. So I just stamped using Boho Blue was the first one, and then Misty Moonlight for that second leaf. And I'm gonna just grab the third one, and I think I'll stamp that one in Night of Navy, just to pull in all three colors that are represented in this particular pattern. It's a great way of pulling those together. And I love the opportunities to layer with this stamp and colors. These colors go very well together. All right. It's nice, very nice. So I don't have to have exactly the same florals for this. I think this works just nicely, okay? And I do believe I'm gonna use a sentiment, and let's stamp that in Night of Navy as well. Let's see, I'm just gonna pick one out of here. I might just pick one out of my paper pumpkin kit. Let's see what's in my paper pumpkin kit. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if this will fit, but I'm gonna try it. Make it a birthday. So I believe this may have been the May paper pumpkin kit. Let's make sure it's gonna fit. It's gonna barely fit. I should probably not use that one because the words are not gonna fit, but I might be able to use it for the inside. So while I'm at it, I will go ahead and use it for the inside instead of the circle. Oops. I like to use my grid paper to kind of line up my photopolymer stamps. We sell a pack of the grid paper in the annual catalog amongst our tools. This is not just for demonstrators. I love it for a really nice workspace so that I don't get ink all over my desk. I get it all over my hands instead, as you can see. But it keeps my workspace nice. This one was made by Tracy Langley for the 35th anniversary tea party in Aiken, South Carolina. And I loved it because my name is on it. She customized those for all of the attendees. And as you can imagine, the name Martinette is not something that you find on the keychains in the store, right? So I get excited when I see that. All right, so now let's do some layering. And this is where I kind of made this a little bit more of my own. So the original designer didn't include all these layers, but I am, because I like the way it pulls the pattern throughout the card as well as the color. So this layer measures 3.5 by 5 1/4. 3.5 by 5 1/4. And I am going to layer on a piece of Night of Navy that measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. So let's use our liquid glue to do that, of course. Whenever I'm playing around with layers, gotta have my liquid glue. And this also helps me to break up the Night of Navy against the inside pattern that I decided to feature here. So just breaks it up, but also pulls the pattern through. That white pattern with the blue flowers continues to pull it through. Now that I have already stamped this layer, I can go ahead and glue it on. And this final layer measures 5 inches by 3 roughly 3 1/8 by 5, okay? So just layering down a fraction of an inch each time. And we get to really enjoy this color scheme a little bit more. Okay. Here we go. And once and for all, we'll glue this entire piece, the unit, on the last panel. So this panel still has enough room for me to write a little message and sign it for my recipient to enjoy. And I think for this piece, let's see if I can get maybe some words on it. I don't know if I will be able to fit these words on this small circle. It's looking much smaller now that I put it on there. Follow your dreams. Happy birthday. I guess that's appropriate. So I really did just mix a few. Actually, you know what? I want to change my mind on that. Let's see if I can get this to fit. You are all kinds of one. Oh yeah, I like this better. I think this is a better tone for a birthday card. That particular stamp says you are all kinds of wonderful. So that's a little bit more appropriate for a birthday card, I think. What do you think? I think so. You are all kinds of wonderful. I'm still going to stamp that in Night of Navy. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Nice little prelude before the birthday, isn't it? And I believe I will use dimensionals to pop this up from the front here. And because it's a circle, I'm just going to make sure I have some dimensionals all around. There's no such thing as too many dimensionals. This card will still fit into a regular envelope, standard envelope, which is good. So we don't have to worry about it being a wonky size. It's just a fun fold. There we go. Very simple, very easy to make. You are all kinds of wonderful. Happy birthday.